not just in that meeting between Benjamin Netanyahu and Donald Trump and in his top team, but also towards any work in a ceasefire in Gaza. But we move now back to Europe, and according to the Ukrainian Finance Ministry, Ukraine has received approximately $500 million from the International Monetary Fund, marking the 9th tranche under the Extended Fund Facility Programme. The EFF programme has allocated $15.5 billion to Ukraine in budget support over a 4-year period. Moreover, since it began in 2023, the programme has delivered $10.6 billion to Ukraine. According to the IMF, Ukraine successfully met all quantitative performance criteria reportedly through March 2025, including the prior action to submit a detailed reform plan for the State Customs Service. The IMF has also extended deadlines for several Ukrainian reforms, including appointing a new customs chief. First Deputy Managing Director of the IMF, Gita Gopinath, has said that Ukraine must continue anti-corruption reforms, including appointing a new head of the Economic Security Bureau and strengthening money laundering rules. The IMF has kept its 2025 growth forecast for Ukraine at 2 to 3%, as improved electricity supply is balanced by reduced gas output and weaker agricultural exports. The international body expects inflation, however, to reach 9% by the year end, and recommend that Ukraine's central bank maintain tight monetary policy, warning it should stand ready for further tightening if inflationary expectations worsen. The next programme review is scheduled for mid-September 2025, with an IMF mission expected to visit Ukraine in August to assess progress on reform commitments. Moving on, but staying in Europe, and tensions amounting in Moldova ahead of the September 28th parliamentary elections, as the country braces to host the high-profile EU-Moldova summit in Chisinau on July the 4th. But what's billed as a show of European solidarity is being sharply criticised by the opposition as a blatant attempt to prop up President Maia Sandu and her pro-Western ruling party. Former President Igor Dodon, now head of Moldova's largest opposition party, the Party of Socialists, has accused the European Union of gross interference in the country's internal affairs. In remarks to Russian news agency TASS, Dodon said the summit was organised to save Sandu and her party from defeat. What business does Ursula von der Leyen or Emmanuel Macron have influencing our elections? The summit will be attended by top EU leaders, including European Commission President von der Leyen and European Council President Antonio Costa. Meanwhile, political tensions have intensified with Moldova's prosecution of Eugenia Gatzel, the head of the autonomous Gozia region. Prosecutors are demanding a 9-year sentence for Gatzel over alleged embezzlement tied to her election campaign. But Gatzel's defence says the charges are politically motivated and an attempt by Sandu's government to silence regional opposition or pro-Russia voices. Russia's Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova condemned the charges as a liberal dictatorship in auction, accusing Brussels of forcing Western political values on Moldova. Gutzel, who was elected in 2023, publicly advocates closer ties with Russia and has faced persistent efforts by Chisinau to invalidate her election and block her from taking office. Her lawyer says an appeal will be filed with the European Court of Human Rights, citing a lack of judicial independence in Moldova. With opposition anger growing, the July 4th summit is shaping up not only as a diplomatic gathering, but as a flashpoint in Moldova's increasingly polarised political landscape. Heading away from Europe